Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me today for some gentle yoga. If you haven't done yoga with us before, please know that it should just be really enjoyable and relaxing, and that you shouldn't do any movements that are painful or uncomfortable to you. If you haven't exercised in a while, please consult a physician before beginning any exercise program. And during our session today, the most important thing that you can do is stay connected to your breath. So as long as you're breathing, your yoga is perfect. If I'm cueing you to maybe inhale or exhale, and you find yourself to be the opposite, that's perfectly okay. We just don't want to hold our breath. So that being said, have your mat out in a place where you can spread your arms out to the side and have room to step forward and backwards. Maybe grab a water bottle, pause the video a second and come back. Take as many water breaks as you need. We're going to begin with our feet hip width apart. That means both of our fists will fit in between our hands, or in between our feet, and that's just simply giving you a nice base for your balance. You can always feel like you can take your feet a little bit wider as well. So we're going to begin by placing our hands on our hips and just rocking from the balls of our feet back to our heels. And in doing this, just feeling connected to the surface beneath you, and just noticing if you feel that your balance is challenged, maybe not rising up quite as high off of your heels. So as we start to bring ourselves present on our mat, we prepare for our yoga by taking a couple deep breaths in. And we're going to breathe in through our nose, nice and deep, as much air as you can breathe in, and then slowly also through the nose, a nice long exhale. And so to do this 2 more times with me, breathing in deeply and exhaling completely. 1 more time, breathing in deeply and exhaling slow and completely. And again, raising your arms up over your head is something that's not comfortable to you. You can always keep it arm level or hands at the shoulder. So move in a way that's comfortable for you. But if the arms will stand up overhead, please do so, or perhaps just leave them at your hips today. So we're going to inhale our arms up, and as we exhale, we're going to bend our knees and sweep our hands behind us. So breathing in deeply, exhaling, sweeping the hands back. We're just warming up the body now, feeling connected to our breath as we inhale and exhale. 2 more times, breathing in and blowing out. In through the nose and out through the nose. And then bring those hands out in front of you, bring the hands together to your heart center. And we'll sit back into just an easy chair pose. And so in chair pose, we want to make sure that our tailbone is pulling to the back of the mat. Our weight is in our heels. We flick our toes, can play piano, and that way we're not loading any weight into our knees. So this will be a pose that we return to. Just know that you can sink as low as you're comfortable, or just have a slight bend in your knees, but you want your hips to push back at all times. And from here, we're going to step our feet together. We're going to inhale our arms up overhead, or leave them at our chest, whatever feels good. And we're going to bring our right arm down to our side and lean down the length of the leg, letting our elbow or our hand pull up towards the sky. And in leaning to your right, keep your left foot pressed into the earth beneath you. And we're going to get a nice stretch through the hip and ribs and even up into the arm. Bring your hand down to center and inhale, bringing your hands back. Knowing that one side may be different from the other, they don't have to match. So if you're raising your arm on one side and it's not comfortable on the other, keep it at your heart center or at the chest. So we're going to bring that left hand down, exhaling as we reach up, or let that elbow stretch up towards the sky, keeping your right foot pressed into the earth, breathing into your right side. And then bring that hand to heart center and bring both hands together. Breathing in deeply, let's exhale and sit back into chair. And this time we're going to give a little twist. So put your right hand on the outside of your left leg. Take the opposite hand to the hip, and as you exhale, twist and look over your shoulder. Remember, tailbone's pulling to the back of the mat, weights in your heels, and we're just breathing slow and even. And then release out of the twist and float your hands across your body, turning your gaze now towards the opposite side as you look over your shoulder. Weight still in your heels. Breath is still nice and slow and even. Bring the hands back to center and straighten your legs, stepping your feet back to hip width apart. Now again, remember you can leave your hands at your hips and you can have them here or extend them up overhead. And I'm going to ask you to pick up your left foot and step back with your feet nice and wide, like if they were on railroad tracks. Your left foot is going to be spun on a 45-degree angle and your hips turn to the front of your mat. You're going to breathe in deeply, reaching up out of the waist, and as you exhale, bring your hands out to the side. Inhale up and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down, and come here and hold. You want your weight divided evenly between both feet, crown of the head pulling up towards the sky. If your arms get tired at any point, your hands aren't already on your hips, they can always come down to let your arms rest. So breathing in, straighten the legs, interlace your fingers, release your index and cross your thumb. Step both feet together. Inhale up out of the waist, and as you exhale, let your right hand pull the left over your ear. Hands can also be at the chest, whatever's feeling comfortable for you, maybe even letting a hand float down the length of your body. No right or wrong, just whatever's comfortable to you. And then bring yourself upright. Inhale as you pull up onto your waist, squeeze your buttocks, and give a slight back bend, gazing up towards the sky. And then inhale up, exhale fold, letting your arms swing back and forth like a pendulum, just relaxing the shoulder blades, gazing down at your mat. Bring your hands to stillness and bring them up to your chest, raising the body up and stepping your feet hip width apart. So now it's a great opportunity to check in with your breath, making sure that you're remembering to breathe and breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Nice and slow with your movements. So now let's take our arms back up to either our hips or overhead. Our arms are shoulder width apart. And we're going to pick up the right foot, stepping it back on a 45-degree angle. We're going to turn our hip to the front of the mat. Breathing in deeply, and as we exhale, bending the knee, dropping the arms parallel to the earth. Inhaling. And exhaling. Again, inhaling. And exhaling. And holding right here. Again, arms can be out to the side or at our hips. Feeling nice and strong. And then as you inhale, straighten your leg, bring your hands back up overhead, step your feet together, interlace your fingers, release your index and cross your thumbs. Inhale up out of the waist, and then exhale, leaning along the length of your body. Don't let your arm rotate forward, but you're in one straight line. Adjusting your arms to a position that's comfortable for you. And then come back to center. Bring the arms out in front of you and sit back into that chair pose. Squeezing the legs together, tailbone pulling to the back of the mat, fingertips stretching the opposite direction. So the longer you hold your poses, the more it strengthens not only your muscles, but your bones too. But feel free to come out of it at any time. Bring the hands back to center, straighten the legs, and step your feet hip width apart. Breathe in deeply, and as you exhale, spread your arms wide. Take your right foot, step off the mat. Your heel should be in line with the arch of your opposite foot. Keeping both legs straight, inhale deeply, and as you exhale, put the back of your hand on your leg, letting your arm reach up towards the sky, or perhaps your elbow, whatever's feeling comfortable to you. You're going to keep pressing the opposite foot into the earth as you lean away from it. And then use your abs to bring yourself upright. Bring the hands back to center and turn that right foot in parallel to the mat. We're going to sink down into a nice wide-legged squat. So as you push your tailbone back behind you, bend your knees, and go just as low as your body says is okay. Remembering to breathe deeply. Your toes can lift off the mat as the weight is in your heels. And then inhale, step back onto your mat. Make sure your feet are hip width apart. Check back in with your breath. Make sure you're remembering to breathe nice and even. And in doing so, we breathe in deeply, and as we exhale, we expand our arms out to the side and pick up that left foot, stepping it off the mat with the heel in line with the arch of the right foot. Breathe in deeply, and as you exhale, turn into your triangle pose. Again, making whatever adjustments are necessary to keep your arms and shoulders safe and feeling comfortable. Keep pressing your right foot into the mat as you lean away from it. And then again, use your abs to bring yourself upright. Bring the hands to heart center and turn your foot back parallel to the mat as we sink back into our wide-legged squat. Tailbones pulling to the back of the mat. Weights in our heels, and our toes can still play piano as we keep our knees nice and safe. And then straighten up as you step back onto your mat. Let's inhale our arms either to the hips or overhead, picking up your left foot, stepping back with the foot on that 45-degree angle. Bend that right knee. And we're going to bring our arms out to the side, and then keeping our legs in position, you're going to turn your torso looking to your left. Reaching your fingertips forward and backwards, belly's lifted, tailbones pulling down. We're in a nice warrior two pose, nice strong body, feeling grounded and stable. Come back to center, bring your hands to the middle, and step with your feet hip width apart. Spread the toes wide on your right foot. Let that foot feel really connected to your mat. And with your crown of the head pulling up towards the sky, we're going to put all of our weight onto that right leg, picking up that left foot and letting the heel rest on the inside of the ankle. And you can choose to stay right here, or perhaps if you're feeling sturdy and stable, you want to pick that foot up. So just whatever's going to feel comfortable to you, challenging the balance, but being safe. Leaving the hands at heart center, or maybe growing them out to the side, reaching the arms up overhead or down low, whatever's feeling good to you today. And then we're going to slowly bring the hands back to the heart if we let them travel away from our body, and step down slowly with our feet hip width apart. And then I'm going to ask you to inhale deeply, again placing the hands either on the hips or up overhead, and step back with your left foot. And that foot is turned on that 45-degree angle, your hips squared to the front of the mat, and we bend the knees. Bring the arms out to the side, and then turn facing the opposite side of the room with your fingertips still pulling in opposite directions, belly firm and tailbone pulling down. Remembering to breathe deeply as the weight's divided evenly between both feet. And then spin the arms back out to the side, bring the hands to heart center, and step back with your feet hip width apart. And then we will spread the toes wide on your left foot, feeling grounded and connected to the mat, crown of the head pulling up towards the sky. And then putting all the weight into that left leg, pick up your right foot and let it rest on the inside of that other ankle. Decide how you feel on this side, as just like flexibility and strength. Balance can change from one side of the body to the other. If you feel like you want to slide your foot up your leg, do so at any time. And you can leave your hands at your heart center, or again, grow your tree out to whatever place feels comfortable to you. If at any point you need to put your foot back down, please feel free to just make yourself steady and comfortable. And now bringing the hands back to heart center, we'll step the feet wide and pedal the heels a moment. Inhaling the arms up, we're going to exhale and sweep the hands back behind us. Inhale out in front, arms parallel to the earth, breathing in deeply, and then exhale, sweep the hands back behind you. One more time, inhaling up and exhaling back. Inhale, and then just float those arms down. Then let's find a place on the ground where we can kneel comfortably. If you need to get a pillow or a blanket to put under your knees, please pause the video and do whatever you need to make yourself comfortable. And we're going to begin with just some gentle side bending. So letting our hands slide down the length of our legs, we lean our right head to the side of the mat. And then coming up slowly, breathing in deeply, and exhaling as we let our hands slide down with our head going to the left side of the mat. Bringing your body back upright, pick up your right foot and take a step forward and bend your leg so that your knee is over your ankle. We're going to gently twist our torso as we look over our right shoulder, just twisting from the navel up. And then come back to center. Press in a little deeper and stretch out that left hip. Wonderful job, everyone. Let's press back and switch to the other side. Make sure your knees are hip-width apart so you have a nice, strong base. So picking up your left foot, take a step forward and let your knee be over your ankle. And then holding firmly to your leg, we're going to twist and just look over the shoulder. Again, twisting from the navel, our lower body stays facing forward. And then come on forward, breathe deeply, and as you exhale, press forward a little bit more, stretching that right hip. Wonderful. And then press back, bring both knees onto your mat, hip width apart. Pick up your left foot and bring it out to the side so that your foot's parallel to your mat. And let's lean down the length of the leg. Again, stretching the side out, making space between the vertebrae. And then bring yourself upright and let's switch to the other side. Again, foot is parallel to the mat. Our hand rests on our thigh as we exhale down the length of the leg. Noticing how one side maybe is a little bit more yielding than the other, and just finding that spot of gentle tension. Bring yourself back upright and put both knees on the mat. Sitting back on the heels, let's take the knees wide, and we're just going to stretch the back in a child's pose. You can leave your arms beside your body or elongate them over your head. So just trying to get your head down close to the mat, or you can even rest it on your hands. You can also put a pillow here. We want to push our sits bones back as our head rests, connecting to the earth. Breathing nice and slow. In through the nose and out through the nose. And then use your ab muscles to bring yourself upright. Come over onto a hip and let's extend the legs out in front of us. So leaving your heels where they are on your mat, walk your sits bones away from you. I'm going to ask you to pick up your left foot and place it on the outside of your right knee. Take that right hand and grab your knee and press it into your belly. Left hand goes behind you, right at your hip, so that you're not leaning back, but that your spine is tall. Breathe in deeply, and as you exhale, push the leg into the belly and twist the belly into the leg as you gaze over your shoulder. Breathing nice and deep and even, staying in this nice twist with our spine nice and tall. And then release and come forward. Extend your leg out, maybe give them a little shake. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So picking up our foot and putting it to the outside of the knee. And of course, if this isn't comfortable, you can always leave it on the inside of the leg. Grabbing the knee, placing our left hand on the leg, right hand behind the hip. Inhale tall, and as we exhale, the leg goes into belly goes into leg, and we look over our shoulder. Remember again, keep breathing evenly, keeping the spine nice and tall. And release and come forward. Again, just send those legs out straight and maybe give them a little shake out. We're going to now bring the soles of the feet together as close to your pelvis as you can get comfortably. We don't want to round our spine, but push our spine forward so our pelvis is forward. And we're going to move our knees away from the earth as we breathe in. As we exhale, press the knees down towards the earth. Breathing in and blowing out. 2 more times. Breathing in deeply, slowly exhaling. 1 more time, breathe in deeply. Exhale, press those legs down. Go ahead and slide your feet away from your pelvis. Again, pelvis is forward, spine is tall, and as we pull ourselves forward, we're going to lean from the hips, so no rounding the spine. Nice tall spine, and exhale until you find that spot of gentle tension. Good way to know if your spine is tall is that you're looking across the room as opposed to down at your mat. So getting a nice stretch now on the outer hips, maybe some low back, but again, stretching to a place that you're just comfortable. No pain, no discomfort. And then bring yourself back upright, and let's take the legs wide. So our goal here is to have the legs as straight as possible. If they don't want to go straight, you can always put a little cushion or roll up towel underneath your knees. So if you need any props, you can always stop the video to make those adjustments. And it doesn't matter how wide you take your legs, you don't necessarily have to look like me. We just are going to want to get a stretch on the inner thigh. So with our spine nice and tall, we're going to start to walk our hands away from our body. And you're going to get a little stretch again on the inside of the thigh, and maybe a little low back if the low back is tight. We want to send our breath into our low belly, low back. And as we exhale, maybe gravity just pulls us a little deeper. So finding that spot where you have gentle tension, taking another couple nice, deep, slow breaths. And then we're going to stay low as we walk our hands across our body over to our right leg. Keep pressing your left hip down as you're leaning away from it. Getting a nice stretch through the hip and low back. And then we're going to walk our hands across our body. Again, staying as low as you can comfortably. Walking yourself over to your left leg. Pressing that right hip down as you lean away from it. Again, just following your breath, nice and slow, allowing our muscles to relax. And then walk your hands back to center. Breathe in deeply, and as you exhale, hold this position, or maybe you take it a little lower. And then walk the hands back. And you're going to bring your legs to cross in front of you in just a seated, easy, comfortable position. Spine's tall, and again, if you want to prop something underneath your tailbone, help keep your spine nice and erect and cushion your sits bones, that's always an option. So we're going to begin by inhaling our arms up, and as we exhale, we're going to squeeze our shoulder blades back. Inhaling up, and exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades back. Inhaling deeply, and exhaling. Inhale out to the side, and as we exhale, you're going to turn to your right into the spinal twist, just like we've done before, gazing over your shoulder. And then release and inhale forward, and exhale and twist and gaze over your left shoulder. Inhale forward, exhale those hands down. Let's go ahead and put the right hand on the mat beside our head. Make sure our spine is tall. And as you press your hand into the mat, take your left ear to your left shoulder, stretching those neck muscles out into a nice side bend. Then slowly bring the head up, placing your hand back on your knee, and we'll switch sides. Hands right by the hip, spine is tall. Breathe in deeply and exhale, taking your right ear to your right shoulder. Slowly bring the head up and place the hand on your knee. And we're going to start to do some torso circles. So rocking to your right, keeping your left sits bone down, and then swinging forward. And as you're to the left, keep that sits bone in contact with your mat. Nice and slow, moving with your breath. One more time, inhaling and exhaling. And then we're going to switch directions. Breathing in deeply, slowly blowing our breath out. 2 more times. And one last time. And bring yourself back to center. Having your hands on your knees, we'll be doing a seated cat and cow. Cat is where our arch of our back takes place, and cow is where we breathe in deeply, pressing our belly forward, chin comes up just a bit. So we'll breathe in deeply here, and as we exhale, pull the knees and round the spine, arching the back, dropping the chin to the chest. Breathing in deeply, chest raises, head tilts. Exhale, chin comes to chest, stretching that back out. Breathing in deeply into cow. Exhale long and slow through cat. Breathing in deeply and exhaling. 2 more times, breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. And returning to a tall spine. Bring your hands to your heart. Breathe in deeply. And as you interlace your hands, exhale and press your hands away from you, stretching the shoulder blades. Inhale, coming back. Exhale, stretch forward. 1 more time. Inhaling and exhaling. Bring the hands back to heart center. Make sure your spine's tall, and you're going to put your hands behind you with your fingers facing the back of your mat. And this time we're going to walk our hands away from us a little bit. You're going to do a seated back bend. So your pelvis is forward, your chest is lifted, and as you exhale, look back towards the sky. Hold this position as you keep breathing in naturally, not so far back that it hinders a nice smooth breath. And then bend your arms, bring yourself back forward, and bring those hands back to the knees, making big circles with your shoulders. 1 more time. Excellent. And now to do a chin tuck, we're going to bring our chin straight back, making a tall, long spine. And then release that chin tuck and bring your chin to your chest. Keeping it nice and low as you start to roll your head to your right side. And then exhale, bring the chin to the chest, rolling to the opposite side. Staying with your breath, inhaling down, and exhaling over. Inhaling down, and exhaling over. And then inhale the chin down to the chest, and slowly bring it up. Bring your hands back to heart center. Close your eyes and take a few nice deep breaths. Feeling yourself a little bit calmer than what you were before you started your practice. Maybe the body's physically more relaxed. Feeling a sense of calm and peace. And 1 more nice deep breath in. Long exhale out. And slowly opening your eyes. Thank you for taking the time to do this yoga practice with me. Namaste.